All right, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined by Amanda Pollock down in Bar Harbor as we get ready for Labor Day weekend. And it's going to be another busy time, especially with I guess the fairly good weekend forecast. I mean, whatever is good now will change between now and then, but it's going to be a busy weekend in Acadia National Park. What should people do if they're planning? How should they plan if they're coming to the park?
Sure. Well, I think that's a great point. That the forecast is totally going to change between now and then, and what could be forecasted very well could change within an hour. So I always tell people that when they're planning to visit Acadia National Park, they should expect the unexpected and plan ahead for situations that could potentially arise. So if you're debating whether or not you should bring that extra layer, bring the extra layer. If you're debating whether or not you should bring the extra water bottle, bring the extra water bottle. You want to make sure that you're prepared for anything just in case.
And people may not realize that there's such a temperature change if you're going up Cadillac Mountain, that what may be nice and warm down on sea level will change dramatically going up the mountain.
Yeah, exactly. You have at least a couple of degrees difference from the base of Cadillac all the way up to the top. And you add the really fast moving winds on top of that, and it feels a lot chillier all of a sudden, especially if you're planning to be up there for sunrise or sunset. So, yeah, having those extra layers, maybe bringing a little blanket to wrap around your shoulders and just preparing ahead. The other thing, too, as it starts to get a little bit darker earlier, um, temperatures drop dramatically when the sun's not out. So it's really important that visitors know what time the sun comes up and goes down, and that they're prepared to go out in the elements regardless of what they are.
Well, I mean, that's a great point because it's been so warm this summer that now that we've gone into approaching fall or the late stages of summer, the nights are much chillier than what we've had. There's great sleeping weather, but maybe not so nice if you're hiking and all of a sudden get caught up in darkness.
Absolutely. I know it's been so nice to change of pace in the evenings for
Right.
us, but you'd be surprised how often hypothermia is a thing around here. If you're not used to being exposed to that temperature for a long period of time, or if you didn't bring a headlamp and you are walking in the dark, it can be a really dangerous situation and it can get slippery very quickly. So you want to just make sure that you have, again, all of your gear and that you're prepared for any type of condition.
If people are visiting, they should know that you just can't drive up Cadillac Mountain. You've got to have a reservation. But uh, there are lots of reservations that open up the day of, so it's not like, oh my God, I didn't make a reservation. I can't go up the mountain.
Absolutely. Yeah, they need two things to go up Cadillac Mountain. So they need their park pass and then they need their vehicle reservation. And you're right, we release about 70-60% of those reservations 2 days out. So if you haven't made a reservation yet, it's absolutely not the end of the world. But we usually can find day of reservations. I usually tell people that they can make them before they leave the hotel for the day. Then they have their guaranteed cell service and Wi-Fi connection so that they're not frustrated while driving throughout the park trying to find a cell signal that may or may not come up.
Well, and that's the other thing is that while there, you should always have your cell phone with you because if you do get in trouble, you can call 911 anywhere in the park, but you may not be able to call grandma and tell her what a beautiful view you have.
Exactly. Yeah, we do have that unreliable cell signal, but it is always going to work with a 911 call. So if you do, we try and prevent accidents as best we can. But if an accident does happen and you need help, never hesitate to call 911 when you're in an emergency situation.
The other thing too is if to try and avoid traffic jams is what we have here in Maine, but I mean occasionally there are backups for at the Sand Beach entrance station. You can purchase your park passes numerous ways, correct?
Oh yeah, you can actually make your park pass, buy your park pass online at the same time that you're getting your Cadillac reservation. So you can have it when one fell swoop, and you can have that QR code ready, and they'll just scan you and buzz you right on through. Um, but yeah, it can get backed up some places, and we just encourage you, as you see park staff throughout the days, they're doing the best they can, same as you, to deal with the influx of a lot of visitors. So just be kind. It goes a really long way, and just
Exactly.
take that deep breath. The park will still be here tomorrow and the day after that.
And there is a change in the Island Explorer schedules. They've gone now to their fall just because all of it, the majority of their drivers are now driving school buses.
A lot of them are definitely driving school buses. You're sure right on there, Chris. But yeah, they are headed into their fall schedule. So make sure that you're looking at the right timetables when you're planning to use your trip. But the Island Explorer is another great way to avoid some of that congestion, or at least relieve some of the stress of the traffic congestion. Because you don't have to deal with worrying about parking. The
Right.
Island Explorer will just drop you off.
And the other thing too is that if you are driving anywhere heading to the park, you're going to see school buses on, especially Friday, because schools has started down in for AOS 91. And we just want to encourage everyone to remember to, you may not be used to seeing school buses because they haven't been around all summer. Stop when the school bus lights are flashing. And we don't have four-lane traffic anywhere on the island, but if you're heading down towards Ellsworth and a school bus is stopped on Route 1A, you've got to stop all four lanes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't believe we're already talking about school being back in session, but I did drive down into Bar Harbor this morning and saw some of the youngins at Connors Emerson out and about. So they're definitely back, and make sure that, you're looking out for pedestrians in the park and outside of the park, especially on Park Loop Road. There are often people walking in the road, so you want to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, and even though we encourage everyone to use pedestrian crosswalks, sometimes, oh my gosh, look at that, and people dart
Vacation
out.
brain's a thing. Vacation brain's a thing. So we always assume people are doing the best they can with the information they have. But yeah, whenever you can be on a trail instead of being on the road, that's what you should do.
What they and people should be checking the Park Service's website for any sudden closures or any delays or anything. We do know that the Peregrine Falcons have fledged, so um, more trails are open, the Precipice Trail, but that's not a trail that novice hikers should be hiking anyway.
Agreed. Yeah, no, precipice is not a great first hike. We have a lot of really awesome first hikes throughout the park. And yeah, it's with the rungs and ladders, it's definitely made for technical climbers. If you're afraid of heights, you are going to have to deal with heights both on precipice, beehive, any of those cliff trails. You're going to be dealing with some high up. So you want to be careful. And, if it's your first hike and you're trying to get used to things, I always tell people that Beach Mountain's a great first one to do. It's short, but you still go up. You still get a beautiful view at the top. So there's a lot of different options out there for first time hikers.
And we've got the seawall is open, so people can go out there thanks to all the contractors and the great community spirit that was happened. It's hard to believe that was just like a month ago that was all reopened, but that's a beautiful view as well. So there are many places to explore in Acadia, not having to go up the mountain or going to see Thunder Hole, correct?
Oh yeah, there are so many little beautiful places that you can find. And yeah, we did send some thank you letters to those contractors for all their donations to the state, helping with the road, getting that road back reopened. But yeah, Wonderland and Ship Harbor are two trails out that way. Absolutely beautiful, very short. I tell my friends who have really little kids, that's a great hike for them because it's flat. You still get that iconic Acadia coastline, so you get a little bit of everything in a nice short jaunt.
All right. And then I guess lastly, if people are looking to work for the park next year, you guys are starting to accept applications, correct? It's hard to believe we're talking about
I know. Can you
2025,
believe
right?
it?
I know.
Yeah, our hiring system is a little bit different than the private sectors. So we are expecting our very first jobs to be posted for summer 2025 on September 9th. So if anybody's interested in coming and working at Acadia, we have full-time and part-time positions available for a lot of these. And we're going to be offering free federal resume writing workshops in partnership with Ellsworth Adult and Community Education. Because our hiring process is so different, it would behoove you to learn a little bit more about what's expected of you before submitting your application.
All right. Anything else? Did we miss anything or we
I think the most important thing is just to take care of yourself. Make sure that you're following the park's rules and regulations. We want you to be spending your time out in the park with your friends or your family, rather than waiting on a ranger to come help you out of a situation you didn't know
right?
about. So just making sure that you come prepared, that you're patient, that you're kind, and we can't wait to see everybody out in the park this weekend.
Even if you're expecting foliage, you still have a ways to go. It's
Oh yeah,
everything's nice and green, thankfully, right? I mean,
it's
typically
beautiful.
we're not going to see any kind of changes. I mean, Katy is one of the last places that really experiences full foliage in Maine. So we're looking really the first or second week of October for peak foliage, typically. Mother Nature,
Typically.
yeah, Mother Nature is going to do what Mother Nature does, but typically, it's that first or second week in October.
Yeah, well, and we're actually seeing, due to the effects of climate change, we're seeing that peak foliage come later and later. It's one of the longer summers, longer growing seasons. That's one of this effects of these human-caused climate change events. So, we're waiting to see what the forecast is predicting, but it'll definitely be later. No leaf peepers just yet.
All right, sounds great. Have a great Labor Day. Thanks for taking time to chat with us, and we look forward to chatting with you again down the road.
Of course. Thank you, Chris. Always good to see you.